welcome to Zee Commodity Capsule. Gold prices have managed to hold on to levels just below $3,400 an ounce after having hit two-week low in the prior trading session. Now the attention is turning to US President Donald Trump's meeting with the Ukrainian President Zelensky and European leaders to discuss a peace deal with Russia. Having said so, US gold futures for December delivery on COMEX is trading precisely near $33.90 an ounce. Some support has come from weak dollar index, which is hovering close to two-week low. But on the other hand, the benchmark 10-year US Treasury yields are hovering near two-week high level. Also, investors are looking ahead to the Federal Reserve's annual symposium in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for insights in interest rate cut paths. Silver prices meanwhile have also managed to edge above $38 per ounce on Monday, recouping some losses from the last week as investors turn their attention to the key meeting of US President Donald Trump and the Ukrainian President Zelensky. Aluminium is where you need to keep an eye on, along with other base metals, which are trading in a very tight range with a slight negative bias. In London, we saw aluminium prices slid, weighed by the move of United States to add more of metals derivative products under the 50% import levy. Having said so, on LME, we saw the aluminium is trading close to $2,600 a ton. Trump at his administration on Friday widened the reach of its 50% tariff on steel as well as aluminium imports by adding hundreds of derivative products to the list of goods subjects to the levy. But on the other hand, supporting the metal on the downside was China's imports of unwrought aluminium, which have surged in the month of July by nearly 38% from the prior year. China imported 360,000 metric ton of unwrought aluminium and products last month. As far as copper is concerned, Citi on Friday revised its 3-month price forecast for copper to $9,200 per ton from the previous $8,800 per metric ton. Oil prices were largely unchanged. They have managed to edge higher slightly by nearly 0.33% after a drop in early trade, as United States exerted no further pressure on Russia to end the Ukraine war through measures to disrupt its oil exports following a meeting of the leaders of both the nations. Brent crude prices are hovering near $66 a barrel, while the US crude is trading near $63 a barrel. Trump said that he did not immediately need to consider retaliatory tariff on countries such as China for buying Russian oil, but might have to do so in next 2 to 3 weeks, which cooled the concerns about a disruption in Russian supply, which is why we have seen that there's not a sharp rise in crude oil prices. Malaysian palm oil futures, on the other hand, has risen to near 5-month high, holding above 4,500 Malaysian ringgit per ton amid a weaker ringgit, and reports that Malaysia raised its September crude palm oil reference price, lifting the export duty to 10%. Coffee prices have also surged higher and now are trading near 2-month highs. Arabica coffee is past $3.40, and we saw Arabica gain nearly 10.5% this week after having risen nearly 9% last week.